Hi guys, this is Rombo, and this is Discerning the Charts. Today we are taking a look at ILUS. We've been looking at this for quite a while. It has been on a downtrend since mid-March, and it is now fighting to get through this downward resistance trend line. It's broken these downward trend lines, and now is the last one. It has broken it before, but then the very next day it has been come back under it. There's one time, there's the next, and now we have a break over again. So tomorrow will be very interesting. I personally think that it's going to continue to straddle this downward trend line until we get down to the 78.6 Fibonacci support line here. Uh, Very, very important day for a lot of reasons. We like to see convergence. We like to see a lot of things all coming together. We have this downward trend line meeting this support line here, and also on June 1st, it did bottom out on the 78.6 Fibonacci. So if it does come all the way down here, we have a double bottom. So it's going to retest that double bottom. It is on a pivot point, the 78.6 Fibonacci. And then what I would really like to see is it break the trend line, and then the next day separate from that trend line. That's a good sign that we have now broken away from that trend line, and now we are starting to come up. Um, what I'm expecting to see is uh, uh, have it come up to the 579, which used to be a support line here, as we see all the way back here on February 4th. And over here it consolidated also. So that was a support, but it broke it. So now the support becomes resistance, or as we call it, the uh, ceiling becomes the floor. And what I think is it's going to hit there, and then it's going to retrace. That would be a nice, healthy retracement. I'd like to see nothing more than 50% retracement. This would be a great time to buy right here, because it's already been shown that it's broken the downward trend line. And then what would be, so that would be a good place to buy in. But then what I'd like to see it then do is break that previous resistance, and then come up and meet the next ceiling, which would be 0.72. I'd like to see another retracement back somewhere around here. We might consolidate a little in between in this area, and then eventually break the 0.72 resistance. And then, of course, we know when it breaks resistance, then it becomes support. So then the ceiling becomes the floor, as we call it. And then the next point is all the way up to the 50% Fibonacci, which is at 0.944. So that is what I'm expecting ILUS to do. Obviously, the future holds a lot of things that we don't know about. Uh, Political events, all kinds of things could change how things go. But this is what I am looking forward to for ILUS. If the other two scenarios, this could break away tomorrow. And then what? Well, we're kind of in no man's land here. We're still under a resistance line here. It could try to retest that, and then it could just come back down again underneath the trend line. So that would be an area of uncertainty. I wouldn't get too excited about breaking this downward trend line if it went horizontal, unless it broke this resistance line right here. Then we could have a little confidence that we are starting maybe an uptrend at that point. The other scenario is, which I think is very unlikely, but still possible, is that it would come back under the downward trend line, and then break that support and continue downward. So I would say that's probably a 15% chance or so, because with all the scenarios going on that I see here, I don't see that being likely, but it is a possibility. Uh, for me, I believe the best scenario for the person who is being bullish on ILUS would be the scenario where it would bounce right off of my target buy-in area right here, because you could get the stock a lot cheaper right here. You could get a better entry and then have a more confident position that it is going to move upward versus it going again, just consolidating here and not knowing where it's going to go. So that's my outlook for ILUS. Very, very big day tomorrow to see what is going to happen. The direction uh, definitely should be telling us where it's going to go tomorrow.